Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Imi Walker and I have a sweet baby boy up in heaven called Asher. Now, our little boy has inspired us to come on here, try start a YouTube channel and talk about all things grief, what infant loss is like, and even raise a bit of awareness for shoulder dystocia along the way. Now, this video for you today is all about grief and how it varies so much and definitely is not one size fits all. I know it's not the hottest topic out there, but anyone walking through this definitely shouldn't feel alone. And we want to share a little bit about how it varies from person to person. So to help convey this, I've invited 5 mothers onto the channel who have sweet little angels up in heaven to talk about what grief means to them. All of their stories vary so much, and we've lost little ones during pregnancy, delivery, and infant loss. So I hope you feel connected or that one of their stories touches you along the way today. The one thing that we all have in common, even though our journeys are different, is a love for our babies that can no longer be held in our arms anymore, but will always hold a very special place in our hearts. And we all just want to take a short, brief moment for you to stop and jump down to the comments if you like, because if you have a little one or someone that you loved that you are grieving for, and you want to jot them down so that they can hold a special place right here where we can meet them too, that would be amazing. And we would just like to acknowledge that we are so sorry for your loss and extend a huge warm hug to you and your family. And if you're watching today, personally not knowing what grief or infant loss feels like, I just want to say thank you so much for jumping on to this video and giving it a little bit of support. I really hope that you feel touched by one of our stories and know a little bit more about grief after leaving this video. So without further ado, let's get into it.
For me, grief feels like a heavy burden that I now carry around.
For me, grief is an all-encompassing experience. It has impacted my relationships, my work, and who I am as a person.
For me, grief feels like the whole world has ended, and yet you still have to learn to keep going.
Grief was realizing that your heart could shatter in a million more ways than you ever thought possible, and just having to get on with life in the process.
To me, grief feels like feeling numb.
To me, grief feels like you're completely lost. You've just been dumped in this forest and you haven't got any paths or any signs, and you just have to find your way through it. You know other people have done it, but at the time it feels alone and you've just got to make your own path.
It's okay to be angry.
It's okay to say no, to ignore people, to take space, to say no to things and events.
It's okay to feel angry and to ask, why me? Why us?
It's okay to distance yourself from certain people and certain places, for a time at least.
It's okay to feel like sometimes you just can't. Stay in, be kind to yourself, set some boundaries.
It's okay to not want to get out of bed.
It's normal to feel like the heaviness of grief will never lift.
It's normal to feel all the emotions, to ride the roller coaster, the ups and the downs.
It's normal to feel scared and deal with intrusive thoughts after losing the sweetest little thing in your whole world.
It's normal to feel happy and sad all at the same time.
It's normal to feel like you may never be okay again.
It's important to feel every emotion.
It's important to remember that grief has no expiry date. You can feel whatever you want for however long you want to feel it.
It is so important to eat, sleep, shower, treat your body with kindness. It has just been through the unimaginable.
It's important to find a group of people who understand what you're going through so that you always have someone to talk to.
It's also important to know the difference between pain and suffering. With grief, there is unbearable pain, and there's nothing that we can do to take that away. there are things that we can do to aid suffering, like talking to a professional, talking to supports.
It's important to take one day at a time, to ask yourself, particularly on the hard days, can I make it through today? And be kind to yourself, because you will.
You are not alone.
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 I really appreciate you taking the time to hear some of our stories today. Overall, if you would like to follow along on anyone's journey that you saw pop up on here and how they're handling their grief, I will list all of their accounts down below, and some of those wonderful mamas even have access to therapy and coaching if you would like to go through someone for support that knows what infant loss is like firsthand. Overall, I know the quality of this video may not have been the greatest considering it is our first, but I appreciate you being here and listening, and I hope the quality of the content that you have heard has really touched your hearts and helped you in some way today. Overall, I guess that's a wrap for our first one, and I hope to see you in the next video next time. Thanks.